greatest excitement I had when I went to see a strongman, a Jewish strongman. His name was Freedman, and he came from Europe, and he was doing tremendous stunts. And the stunts that I saw him do was lying in his back on nails that were cut, and he would hold the platform, and a horse would go on the platform and him laying on nails. Another stunt that he did, he would take a nail and put a handkerchief in his hand, and he would drive it right through a board. So I thought, that sounds like I could possibly try and do. So when I met my wife, and by then I had learned the trick, that I would take a handkerchief and drive it through a board. It was more force than strength. So I made a great impression on my wife's father that I could do these things. And that's how it was.
Dad, were there any stories of Sholem Aleichem at the theater back then?
You know, Fiddler on the Roof was taken out of Sholem Aleichem's plays, which I read in Yiddish. And in Yiddish it's called Tevye the Milchike. Tevye was his name, and the Milchike means he was trading in milk stuff. And he had a lot of daughters, and it all relates about all his daughters and how he tried to get them married off and the problems he had. And why they named it Fiddler on the Roof, I'll never know. But I read Sholem Aleichem, I read some of the others, and I still read Jewish pretty well.
And their writings mirrored what your experience was?
Their writings mirrored the experience of the immigrants on the East Side. It was...
He really came out of a shtetl in Lithuania, if you want to hear about the old country at all.
Okay.
Pretty much the same as it was then, except there were more stores that were selling delicatessen. That's where I used to occasionally have lunch. But I shied away from meats, and I certainly wouldn't eat in one of those places that I didn't trust. So Ratmas was the safe place.
But when you go back and you look, in your mind's eye, are you seeing what you saw, that what you lived through then? It's different now? How does it look to you now?
It looks different because the stores are, the few that are still there. I stopped by and I said, there used to be Adler Brothers, and sure enough, it's there. And I got over and I talked to them, and my children talked to them. Then I reminded myself that there was a store that sold suiting material. People who tore their pants and they didn't want to discard their jacket, so they'd go into Beckenstein and buy fabric to make a fresh pair of pants. So I went in to find out, sure enough, Beckenstein is still there. And I was talking Yiddish to some of the people in the store. It takes me back a lot of years. And the interesting part is that on the corner where I was selling the Hatchkeviches used to be an optimist by the name of Cohn, and the store is still there.
How old were you there, Dad?
He's actually